Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to Mindfulness Hour. Once a week, usually Saturday morning here in Singapore, we do a 1 hour practice. Spend 1 hour together, usually having about a 10-minute intro, followed by a 40-minute meditation, followed by 10 minutes of sharing and discussion at the end. Some kind of outro as well, perhaps, and that's our 1 hour of practice. I mean, body scan and sleep is body scan a good a potential method for falling asleep. It certainly can be used for that. It can be relaxing. I'd say the experience that I've had with my participants in mindfulness-based stress reduction is that most of the time when participants use body scan to fall asleep, and I suppose this is anecdotal, I don't have a large pool of data to share this evidence with you, but they tends to be that when they're doing body scan and fall asleep, when they wake up they feel rejuvenated, and sometimes they wake up at the end of the body scan, right? So the bell gets rung, and the bell gets rung. They wake up from their sleep, and then they realize that now it's even harder to sleep. So would caution you as to using the body scan to fall asleep, because it may not have the effect that you're looking for exactly. What could be, what I find meditation in general is helpful when it comes to, if you, and again, this is, my practice, my commentary is that regular practice is really the key to success in mindfulness. And so if you do a meditation practice regularly, you'll find that one of the benefits of the practice is that over time your ability to fall asleep should improve, and that insomnia should lessen a bit. One of the reasons, first of all, the body scan itself has some relaxation that it does, but secondly, the body scan and mindfulness in general can help us to be aware of our thoughts, and awareness of thoughts can start to help uncover some of those unhelpful thoughts that we might have during periods of insomnia. So sometimes, I'm familiar with it too. And even with practice, it doesn't mean that insomnia goes away completely, but awareness of thoughts is there. And what kind of thoughts do we tend to be aware of is, why can't I sleep? What time is it? Oh my gosh, if I fall asleep now, I'm only going to have 5 hours of sleep tonight. And these kinds of thoughts actually make sleep even farther away, even more challenging to get to, because of the anxiety is one of those. Anxiety is an emotion that causes the fight or flight response. It's a fear-based emotion, and as we have anxiety, that fight or flight makes us more awake, right? So it's kind of the release of adrenaline. I think this is also interesting about just in general how the body works. There's a perceived threat, whether real or imagined. You can even imagine a threat, right? It doesn't have to be real. Our brains are good enough at simulating reality that simply imagining what could potentially happen is enough to start to activate the response inside the body. So, welcome to today's body scan. The practice today it may be relaxing, but I would encourage you to try your best to stay awake, stay alert, stay aware of the feeling inside the body, even if that is relaxation, to not surrender to sleep at this moment, that perhaps the better way of doing this practice is to stay fully focused through the duration of the practice. And then when you're finished, after the ring of the bell, then go to bed and see how you're feeling, see if that helps. CC shares, meditation has helped my insomnia. Yeah, and Jean's sharing that, besides me, other teachers here on Insight Timer have used body scan and Yoga Nidra. If you're not too familiar with Yoga Nidra, it has a lot in common with body scan. I think the main difference between Yoga Nidra and body scan is that body scan is completely passive, and I think most mindfulness practice is a completely passive practice where we don't do anything at all, that we don't wish to change the state of the body or the mind in any way, that the main purpose of mindfulness is observation of things as they are and acceptance of things as they are without trying to change anything at all. Whereas Yoga Nidra, maybe the difference here is that Yoga Nidra is a encouragement to relax different parts of the body. And this is why I say they're very similar, is because in body scan, if you come across tension in the body, you can recognize it, and sometimes through recognition of tension, that tension relaxes all by itself, and you go, oh right, my shoulders are tense. Okay, I can relax my shoulders. I can let go of that tension. And I think that it is a key difference, because trying to relax, it's just like insomnia, right? Trying to relax is like trying to go to sleep. So sometimes as we try to relax and we go, oh, this is supposed to be a relaxing meditation. Oh, I need to relax. Why am I not relaxed? And we end up creating more tension by trying to relax. And just like insomnia, right? We make sleep farther away by trying so hard to get to sleep. So that is the encouragement today. So whatever reason you're here for today, if you're here to relax, if you're here to fall asleep, remember that it is that acceptance of how things are that will really aid in relaxation. So right, this is the really interesting thing about mindfulness, is that we achieve our goals by not trying to achieve anything at all, by rolling out the red carpet. Welcome whatever is here right now. Welcome insomnia. Welcome tension. Hey, it's here. It's already here. Why not welcome it? Why not accept that it's here at this moment? So that is the encouragement for today. As well, remembering non-striving, not trying to achieve anything, knowing that our practice is good all by itself, and that we don't actually have to try to get anywhere, that there is nowhere to go, that you'll find that this sometimes can be like a little mantra for yourself. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, just being here now. So, as we get started, that might be a good way to get started, is to remember your intention, to remember why it is that you're here. What do I hope to get out of my practice? What am I... you're not here by accident, right? You probably, even if you didn't know, if you didn't know that this 1 hour event is scheduled, and you're on Insight Timer and you're like scrolling through live events, you're scrolling through live events for a reason. You're coming here, you're checking out this live event for some reason. So remembering, at least for right now, recalling what it is that you're hoping to get out of being here today. So just take a moment and remember that. It could be something as simple as wanting to go to sleep, or cultivating more patience, or having self-compassion. Self-compassion naturally arises through mindfulness anyway, as we learn more about ourselves, as we discover ourselves, as we discover the way our thoughts work. And if it's helpful for you, sometimes the way to solidify that intention is to say it out loud or to write it in the chat. And this also can help to share with others, to keep yourself, it helps to solidify sometimes a thought by saying it out loud or by writing it down. And now, maybe on an exhale, letting go of that intention, determining to simply be as you are right now, and getting into our posture for today. And so, of course, you can meditate in any posture. Today, I'm going to be sitting up so that I can project my voice more easily. But I would encourage you, if you like, to lie down. So when we practice body scan and mindfulness-based stress reduction, this 8-week course, the encouragement for participants is to try it lying down. So lying down has some benefit in that your body can be fully relaxed. It might be easier for you to relax if you lie down. The downside, of course, is that it affects alertness. So we may fall asleep if we're lying down. And if you think you're in danger of falling asleep, then maybe you want to sit up today. I would encourage you to stay with me, to stay present for the duration of the practice. And if you are trying to go to sleep, waiting until this practice is over. So if you have chosen to lie down, the posture would be, one, bringing something behind the back of your head to protect the back of your head from the hardness of the floor or even the yoga mat or even the carpet. We will be practicing for about 35 minutes. So there's a relatively long period of time that your head is going to be in contact with that supporting surface. Arms alongside the body, palms open toward the ceiling. Maybe having some gap between your arms and the sides of your body. Having a gap between your legs, letting your feet gently fall away from each other. Maybe your shoulders are a bit towards your ears. One thing that can be helpful, I've found, is to intentionally bring the shoulders down a little bit and using the floor to help keep the shoulders down away from the ears. This also can help to stretch out the trapezius muscle and to aid in relaxation. And so whatever posture you've chosen, noticing it, feeling what it feels like to be in this body here right now. From the tips of the toes to the crown of the head. Feeling the supporting surface against the body. Noticing, if you're lying down, the back of the head, the shoulder blades, the elbows, the backs of the hands, the buttocks, perhaps parts of your legs, your heels. And then drawing attention towards the belly, towards the abdomen. Noticing that the abdomen does not stay still, especially if you're lying down. Without the extra weight on your spinal column and your vertebrae, you'll feel that there's a little bit of additional freedom for the belly to move upwards as you breathe in. So for a moment, concentrating here. Feeling the expansion and contraction of the belly as you breathe. Noticing all of the details of what it feels like to breathe. Perhaps you can feel the skin stretching slightly as you breathe in, as the abdominal wall expands outwards. Noticing how far the belly goes in as you breathe out. So not imagining breath in any way, not thinking about the concept of breathing, but actually tuning in to the real physical sensations of breath. Maybe the gentle brushing of your clothing against your skin as the belly changes shape, expanding as you breathe in, contracting as you breathe out. So fully aware for the next 2 breaths. And after your next exhalation, guiding your attention down the left side of the body. Through the left hip, the left leg, the left ankle, the left foot, all the way out to the toes of the left foot. Can you feel your toes? Not moving them. Not trying to feel anything in particular. Just observing instead what's here already. What do I feel in my toes? What ordinary sensations are there here? Maybe tingling or itching or dryness or moisture, warmth or coolness. How do I know that I have left toes? Can I feel each of the toes? The spaces between the toes. Can I feel the sole of the left foot? The top of the left foot? The left ankle? The left heel? And on your next exhalation, letting go of the left foot. As we guide attention into the left lower leg, noticing the left shin. The left calf muscle. the bones inside of the left lower leg, every square centimeter of the skin between the ankle and the knee, on the next exhalation, releasing the left lower leg from awareness. As we guide attention into the left knee, the left kneecap, the back of the left knee, the sides of the left knee. Focusing attention here on the left side. So the inner left knee, the outer left knee. Concentrating attention. And then on the next exhale, releasing the left knee. We're done with the left knee. Goodbye, left knee, as we welcome our attention to the left thigh. The muscles, large bone inside, every square centimeter of skin on the outside. From knee to hip, holding the entirety of the left thigh and all the physical sensations here in awareness. Maybe your left thigh is in contact slightly with the supporting surface. Maybe you're sitting cross-legged and not lying down. Maybe you feel your right foot touching the left thigh. And now, on the next exhale, releasing the left thigh from awareness. And from the left hip, scanning across the pelvis to the right hip, moving down the right leg, through the right thigh, the right knee, the right lower leg, the right ankle, the right foot, into the toes of the right foot. Again, no need to move the toes. Can you feel the toes as they are, whatever sensations may be here right now? The right big toe, the right little toe, the three other toes in between, the spaces between the toes, the sole of the foot, the ball of the foot, the outside edge, the arch, the heel, the ankle, the top of the foot, holding the right foot in its entirety in awareness. And on the next exhalation, releasing the right foot from awareness. as we scan our attention into the right lower leg, feeling the right shin, the right calf muscle, the bones inside the right lower leg, the entire surface area of the skin, the entirety of the right lower leg in awareness. On the next exhalation, releasing the right lower leg from awareness as we guide attention into the right knee. Noticing the right kneecap, the back of the right knee, the left side of the right knee, the right inner knee, the right outer knee, the tendons, the ligaments, the skin on the surface, featuring the right knee, the star of the show right now, in the forefront of awareness, aware of every sensation in the right knee. And now, on your next exhalation, releasing the right knee from awareness. As we guide attention into the right thigh. The bone inside, the muscles around the bone, maybe even noticing the blood in the right thigh. You can feel pulsations perhaps. And the skin, surface of the skin, anything the skin is in contact with, your clothing, supporting surface. Noticing the details of the physical sensations in the right thigh. And now, on your next exhalation, releasing the right thigh from awareness. As we bring attention into the right hip, back to the right buttock, noticing the sensation of the buttock in contact with your supporting surface. Noticing the tailbone, becoming aware of the left buttock, the left hip, the pelvic bowl around front, the genitals, the perineum, the anus, holding the entirety of the pelvis in awareness. Noticing present moment sensations here. What do I notice in this region of the body? What physical sensations can I be aware of? And on the next exhalation, releasing the pelvis from awareness. And beginning to guide attention up the spine, starting at the tailbone. Noticing as well the sacrum, the lower vertebrae, the muscles in the lower back. Maybe even noticing that you can feel your breath. You can feel subtle sensations in the lower back as air comes in and out of the body. And continuing up the spine, vertebra by vertebra. As we go up, expanding awareness across to the sides of the body. So noticing the mid-back, the ribs, the upper back, the shoulder blades, and if you're lying down, noticing where the shoulder blades are in contact with the mat once again. Noticing the muscles of the upper back. For some of us, the back, the lower back, the upper back are places where we hold tension. Just observing, do you feel tension in the back anywhere today? Do you feel ease in the muscles of the back? Observing what's here right now and welcoming it, because it is here, not bracing against anything as we go through our practice. And have you started to drift to sleep at all? If you have, maybe taking this moment to open your eyes. If they were closed, look at the lights in your room. All the while keeping the attention on the back. Rejuvenating ourselves, waking up, being fully awake, fully alive for our practice, being aware of the muscles and sensations in the back. And now on the next exhale, releasing the muscles in the back, releasing the entirety of the back body. As we bring the attention to the abdomen. Feeling the expansion and contraction of the abdomen with the breath. Noticing the internal organs here. The digestive system, maybe feeling movement within the digestive system. Movement of the diaphragm up and down as we breathe. And on the next exhale, releasing the abdomen as we guide attention upwards to the rib cage, to the sternum, feeling the heart if you can. Can you feel your heart beating inside your chest? Some of us can, some of us cannot. Can you feel the lungs inside the rib cage? Can you feel the slight stretching of the rib cage as you breathe in? The release as you breathe out. And then on the next exhale, releasing the chest from awareness. And bringing awareness to the left shoulder and then down the left arm. All the way to the fingertips of the left hand. Can you feel each of your fingertips, your fingernails, including the rest of your fingers, all the way to the palm of the hand, to the back of the hand, the left wrist, maybe feeling pulsations here if you notice them. The left forearm, the bones inside, the muscles around the bones, the skin on the outside, every square centimeter of the skin around the left forearm. Also including the left elbow. The front side of the left elbow. The left upper arm. Biceps, triceps, this larger bone here, the skin on the outside, and then including the left shoulder and the left armpit. As we hold the entirety of the left arm, including the left shoulder and the left hand, in the forefront of awareness. And on the next exhale, allowing the left arm to simply dissolve into the background of your awareness. As you guide attention from the left shoulder over to the right shoulder, and then down the right arm, all the way to the fingertips of the right hand. Noticing the fingernails, extending through all and each of the fingers of the right hand. the palm of the right hand, the back of the right hand, the right wrist, pulsations in the right wrist if you feel any. Including now the right forearm, the bones, the muscles, the skin. Maybe in the skin you feel a soft breeze in the room. Including now the right elbow and the front side of the right elbow. The right upper arm, the bone, the biceps, the triceps, the skin, the right shoulder, the right armpit, and now everything from the right shoulder to the right fingertips, holding the entirety of the right arm in awareness. Awake, alive, attentive. And on the next exhale, releasing the right arm from awareness. And bringing attention to the neck, the front side of the neck, the softer tissue here. The larynx, the large blood vessels, bringing blood to and from the head and brain. The back of the neck. Muscles here that may be in tension for some of us. Just observing what is the state of the muscles in my neck. Noticing the vertebrae as they're going up into the base of the skull. So here is my neck. Star of the show right now. Center of attention, focusing on the neck. And then on the next exhale, releasing the neck from awareness. Guiding attention to the chin and the jaw. The jaw is another area which holds tension for some of us. So seeing if that's true, if your lower teeth are clenched against your upper teeth, maybe seeing if you can part the teeth slightly, relax the jaw. Allow the jaw to relax all by itself, just through that awareness. Noticing the lips, the teeth, the tongue, the gums. Becoming aware of the nose and the nostrils, the air moving in and out of the nostrils as you breathe. aware of the cheeks, the ears, sounds falling on the ears. The eyes and the muscles around the eyes. If the eyes happen to be open right now, what is it that the eyes are drinking in this moment? The eyebrows, the forehead, the temples, the scalp, the crown of the head. What do I feel here at the crown of the head? The back of the head, which if you're lying down may be in contact with your mat or your supporting surface. So the entirety of the head and face. Noticing the skull. And then as you breathe out, letting go of the head, the face. And now, bringing into awareness the entirety of the body, from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes, to everything in between. The fingertips, the heart, the right hip, the left knee. Just being aware of whatever is here, whatever you feel, whatever appears naturally in the forefront of awareness. And now, as we get ready to draw our practice to its close, I'd like to encourage you, give yourself a little gratitude. Give yourself a little credit for having made the time today to do this powerful practice. And maybe setting some intention to continue practices like this regularly, to take a more active role in your mental and your physical well-being. And so I'll close practice with 3 rings of the bell. After the sound of the 3rd bell has subsided completely from your awareness, feel free to start moving around, wiggling your fingers and toes, stretching out in any way you like. All right, thanks so much. Thanks for being here today. Hope you had a good practice. And what does that mean anyway, a good practice? So feel free to share right in the comments, right in the chat here. What was your meditation like today? What did you notice? Did you fall asleep? Were you awake? How do you feel now? How did you feel at the beginning of the meditation? So we'll have a look at the chat shortly. In the meantime, I thought I'd also give you a little prompt. So maybe at the end of a meditation, and sometimes it's good to have a little reflection, a little contemplation. So the contemplation for today is recall a time when mindfulness helped you handle a difficult situation with grace. I'll write it in the chat here shortly. Recall a time when mindfulness helped you handle a difficult situation with grace. So feel free to share about that or anything at all, how the practice went. And Barbara's defining good practice for us. So here it is. Good practice equals I showed up and welcomed whatever came. Thank you, Barbara. Jean says, I stayed awake. Your prompt to open eyes if you're feeling sleepy came just at the right moment. Glad to hear it, Jean. Keep it up. And if you did fall asleep, don't worry about it. Sometimes we're just so sleepy and we're so on all the time that when we take a moment to kind of get out of our heads and get into our bodies, it becomes surprisingly extremely restful, and we just kind of blink out for a moment. And that's okay too. That does happen. And I think I always kind of report here that when I lead body scan in person, even though I encourage everyone to stay awake, I usually lose maybe not the right word. About a third of the participants tend to fall asleep, so it's okay. And maybe that's what you were shooting for today. Laurel says, thank you so much. I feel more rejuvenated and connected. Thanks, Laurel, for being here. Caesar shares, quite relaxing. I fell asleep in between. Thank you, Caesar. Cece says, I'm getting better at being able to hang out for the longer meditations. When I started, thought I'd probably die to practice for a longer time. Thanks, Cece, for sharing. And I think that's a really great testament to regular practice. I remember when I took MBSR, you're signing up to do 45-minute meditations right from the beginning. I remember thinking to myself, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do 45-minute meditations? And the first body scan was really hard. And the second body scan was really hard. And they were pretty hard for the first week. And especially, too, I really wanted to move. I like staying still for 45 minutes was something that my body just wasn't used to. So that was... that was it, is that regular practice made it easier. And I found that, the more that I practiced too, the more I was able to get out of those practices. Thanks, Cece. Laura shares, I think just right now, today was really good. I arrive excited, a bit stressed, anxious, more centered now. I feel some pain in my chest, heaviness, but also more relaxed and present. Thank you, Laura, for sharing. And Jean writes some words of encouragement. Always, to Cece, right? Always showing up, and this is right. That's all. That's what you've got to do. What's a good meditation? Showing up and welcoming whatever comes. And I think like showing up. I mean that really even if you're having trouble welcoming whatever comes. You're here today. Was your mind fully focused the whole time? Well, maybe you should be teaching, if that's the case. I have to admit, my mind for these 40-minute meditations, it's impossible for me to be completely focused on my body. Even focused on, part of my job, of course, here is to lead the meditation, to talk us through the body parts. I still don't stay fully focused on the body parts. I do have like wandering thoughts, usually because it's the morning, usually about the future. What does today hold for me? And whatever other thoughts come up. Thinking about you guys too. I suppose I do think about, okay, what's going on? Are they asleep now? I mean, I guess it's the fun thing about teaching online as opposed to in person, is I don't see. It's hard, I can't see you, so I don't know how things are. I mean, even if I do see you, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. Mean that I know what's going on. That's what I always say when people go, "Do you teach your kids to meditate?" I go, "Well, I can force my kids to sit there quietly, and to not move and to close their eyes, but that doesn't mean they're meditating. So you can't force anyone to meditate." No, it's raining. That's why these are, Gene's asking, is it raining? Yeah, that's why I've got my little rain shades down, so that it doesn't get wet inside or in the balcony area. But yeah, it's raining here, and yeah, right. I mean that's hard. It's hard to stay fully awake when you hear the pitter patter of rain outside. So it's raining here. So I think today's my first morning of leading this meditation and having to close my rain shades. But yeah, otherwise it's nice. I have to say it's nice and cool. Singapore is usually so hot, and I can feel that cool breeze. I think this is probably the first time I'm sitting here leading this meditation and not being quite damp in the front from all the heat, all the sweat. So it's a really, really nice morning here. Yeah, thanks, Gene, so much for running the practice when I'm out. Yeah, I'm happy that I've scaled back my time as well. Cause this little baby, man, he's so fun, but wow, he's a little time absorber. He's like absorbs my time like a little time sponge. But he's a barrel of monkeys. He's super fun. What do you think about the cultural emphasis on working out versus meditation and yoga? Is a question here. Well, I mean, I emphasize it too. That my five. I sometimes will talk about my five pillars of mental health, and those are meditate every day, exercise regularly, eat well, sleep enough, hydrate, right? And exercise is part of it. I'd say that is physical exercise, is yoga and are yoga and physical exercise different? Yes and no. But I mean, I think it's interesting that meditation isn't yet as widely prescribed as physical exercise. Yeah, I suppose that part of it is the data. So far, from my experience, the data shows that the huge the big benefit. There's a huge benefit from physical activity, from regular physical activity as well. For many reasons, for stress relief, so mindfulness is just one of these five pieces. Which one's the most important? I'm not sure. Eating a bunch of sugary foods. Right? I mean, one of the things about mindfulness practice is kind of this dopamine detox. Right? It helps to notice our cravings, helps us to be more aware of the cravings that we have, the desire to run away from the meditation and do something entertaining. And so, like, eating sugary foods is again, it's very, very addictive. So, which one's the most important of these five? I don't know. Is exercise really important? Yes, certainly it is. And I would say for many reasons, including stress relief. um, and physical health. But I mean, that I think that was maybe a big surprise to me. And one of the things that I think actually got me started meditating was that before I started my meditation practice, I really did some very intense physical exercise, and I was quite surprised to see how the exercise affected my mental state and my mental health. So how I was feeling and then my general attitude about things. It's kind of amazing that my body had such a strong effect on my mind, and I think that was it. That was kind of the seeds planted for me to explore the mind-body connection further. And there is a huge, very strong connection between mind and inseparable. I mean, right? I don't think anyone would argue that your brain and your mind have some relationship, right? So your body and your mind are connected. Thanks for asking that question. Mindfulness, exercise, sleep. Mindfulness, exercise, eating, sleep, and hydration. Yes. So, and I will write. Here you go. If you want to get involved in the other meditation, the other meditations that when I'm I'm here 3 out of the 3 days a week on Insight Timer. The name of the group where we do the meditations and we have sharing, etc., is Ryan Saley Mindfulness Circle. So feel free to join. And so I'm sorry if you can't read the comments. This is just sometimes Insight Timer can be a bit funny like that. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. I will be back on Tuesday. We're going to do a little bit more debrief of the 10 bowls of Zen. So I really kind of ran through the last 5 quite quickly last time, just because of the kind of less practical nature of those. So I want to bring some of that home and just kind of chat through a little bit about those last 5 pieces of the 10 bowls. And I'll talk about Aldous Huxley on Thursday. Quite interested. I didn't realize how little I knew about his relationship to mindfulness, so I'm just kind of curious. We'll explore that and chat about it on Thursday. So look forward to sharing with you. And for now, let us send our well wishes to ourselves and to each other, and then I'll bid you farewell. So follow along. You can repeat out loud if you like, or just in your mind. May I be happy and peaceful. May everyone watching, listening, wherever you are, I wish you all happiness and peace. And may all sentient life throughout our universe, wherever it may be, and especially here on our planet Earth, may we all be happy and peaceful. Okay. Take care, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.